Welcome guys to another episode of YouGrind podcast, and I have here
Great, brother. What's going on with you? How you doing?
Good. Yourself?
Yeah, chilling. Do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for having me. Doing the grind thing, so that's what you're saying. So I was happy to get the invite, so I appreciate it.
So tell me about yourself a little bit.
Well, I go by the moniker Gray, brother. Created by my regular name, Ron Sr., a video producer, podcaster, you say TV writer, 18, I did in content creation, some for another for the last, I would say 10 years, doing things, towards the front of the camera, behind the camera, in front of the mic, behind the mic, production, all aspect of it. The last 2-3 years is when I now step more in front of the mic rather than behind it, for the simple reason that I started doing on my own channel and my own actual brand rather than doing it for people. So I had to sit there and put something out there. And I started the actual apparatus, this moniker that you see in front of you called Gray, brother, which is giving a perception of like a take on different things in the middle ground. They talk about in the gray area. So that's what it is. So I said, Gray, I'm a brother. So that's how we're looking at it. That's how we got going from there. Yeah.
Take me back to childhood. What started all this?
Well, it was funny. When I was actually, I would say 17, is when somebody came to me and just, I don't know, they started like making a music video. It was like a really impromptu thing. And I wanted to do it. So I asked my mom to kind of, hook me up with the actual class they had at the rec center, middle class. I don't know if you remember those days. We used to have classes on the weekends, at the rec center. So that's where we was at. So I went there, did those classes. It was cool. You know what I mean? I got the bug from there. So I started just producing little small things for school, video class. Then it, elevated to actually into college where I started doing like broadcasts on like for sports, different football games, basketball games, different all those kind of things, TV shows, on talk shows, that kind of thing. So it just kind of grew from there. I don't know, I just found a way to media just be really cool. This is before, social media and YouTube and all that kind of stuff. It was all about like regular just TV, you know what I mean? So that's how I got into it. So we grew from there. But to go a little bit back before that, I'm the first U.S. born Jamaican of my family. We're from Jamaica originally. We started on the East Coast. We spread all the way through over the next couple years. Me and my cousins, like I said, the first generation. Mm-hmm. We come from, very humble, in the bush kind of beginnings. My grandpa, way back in Jamaica, he's well known, but he's a taxi driver. They don't have as much opportunity as they came out here. So they made the sacrifice to make sure we came out here and us and his daughters and his, kids could come give us a better lifestyle. So yeah, I was the first American born out of me, my family, my sister, my cousins, all that stuff. Grew up here, so I'm American, but I'm American born Jamaican, you know what I mean, for that. And just grew up in the moniker itself, like I said, so it's good.
So would you consider yourself successful?
I don't know if I'd say successful. I think I'm doing okay. You know what I mean? There's certain things I'm good at, certain things I'm all right at. I'm able to support my family, doing what I'm doing, and continue to grow. But the grind don't stop. So, you know what I mean? Just gotta keep going. So even if I was successful, quote unquote, I'd probably still be pushing and achieving. So, we got a while to go. So I'm living, I got food on the table. The babies is eating, you know what I'm saying? I'm eating. We're good all the time, you know what I'm saying? Travel, whatever's going is going,
I'd like to hear that.
Yes.
What is something you're willing to share that people don't really know about you?
Man, I don't know about that one because I'm mostly a private person. I'm always on my current podcast talking about different things. So anything that's out there, I'm willing to talk about. But if I'm talking an aspect of my private life, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? People that know me know. They know it. You know what I mean? On that part. But I have I guess a real passion to help my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's something people don't know. A real in-depth passion to find a way to help peoples out there.
And who is your people?
The Black folks. You know what I'm saying? The biggest thing of starting, doing my own like channel, my own networking thing, the main theme is to really push and bring forth the Black perspective a little bit more neutral rather than it is right now. You know what I'm saying? People only like to talk and bring the Black perspective when it's talking about racism, we're talking about who did wrong this and all that kind of stuff and everything. Okay, that's part of the conversation. we have a lot more to say. You know what I'm saying? There are Black doctors, there are Black judges, there are Black movie people, there are Black food beneficiaries, there are Black, gardeners, you know what I mean? There's Black, water filtration people. There's Black people doing every kind of thing. But when it comes to anything other than racism in the mass media, nobody wants to hear it. You know what I'm saying? Or doesn't really care about it, or it's moot. So the big thing, what I'm pushing for as a silent in everything I'm doing is to really be able to help my folks, my peoples, to really get their voice out there, whether it be putting a platform out, whether that be just talking to people like yourself, you know what I mean? Just interacting and let it be known a Black voice should be heard just like any other voice, you know what I mean? Even if you disagree, it at least should be heard, you know what I mean? So that's a big mission for me, in all cases and whereabouts.
I feel it.
Yep, yeah, absolutely.
For me, more so, it's not even of color. For me, it's more of my gender.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not really represented in the industry or in the films, and I just like to help people, period.
Absolutely.
Disregardless of where we're coming from or anything. It's hard to get an opportunity. It's hard to get a start. And I'm all about growing my team and being part of that. And that really motivates me and inspires me.
That's a big
be around people that want to grow and are hungry.
Absolutely. That's a big one. That's for me. So it's everybody has their subsector. The name I'm putting on the motivation I have is Black folks, but it could be just like you said. There's people that go by a group of gender, people that go by race, people that go by general affinities, people that go by likes, dislikes, people go by labor, you know what I mean? There's so many different groups and fixations.
And at the end of the day, nothing even matters as long as we get to do what we want to do, which is make content.
Exactly.
Which is our voices being seen, telling that story.
And the funny thing about it is, specifically for me, I've come to find out lately that even that is being restricted by these big corporations, the TikToks and YouTubes or whatever. I need them. I have to still be on them. But it's disturbing to find out that if I go ahead and put content about whose baby mama did this to my baby mama, it gets absolutely blasted all over. But if I sit there and talk about, hey, the elevation of Black people should be this financially, it actually gets restricted. I'll come to find out. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure gender-wise, same thing. You can talk about anything. I'm not talking about anything negative. I'm just saying, hey, look, it'll be nice if we grow this way. But even then, so this is why it's for me, it's really important to have your own and get out there and really push and have a symbolic move.
Nobody's gonna do what you're destined to do.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely.
Nobody's gonna say your message.
They
might agree with it, but they'll tell it their way.
Exactly.
So you have a specific goal, you gotta say it yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Because no matter what, it's gonna probably be discombobulated one way or another. So what's the problem? Just having your own platform. Exactly. What's having your own stuff out there, so it can constantly said. So you can never look and say, well, we didn't understand the message. Nope, it's right there on my platform right there. You can see all that kind of stuff and I can cite it. It's everywhere. You can see publicly, so don't tell me that. So that's why it's a mission.
It's a very competitive. People want their own.
Absolutely.
They want their own, and I'm all for it. But I also want to work as together.
Absolutely.
And not a lot of people are for that.
No
matter how much they're like, oh yeah, go, you do it. They're really not about it.
It's unfortunately in society right now. You know what I mean? A lot of especially minority cultures, we lived and died with ourselves, you know what I mean? As a group coming in, holistically, from 60s, 70s, 80s, that always was the case, you know what I mean? But once, it's so ironic, once kind of restrictions were limited, diluted a little bit, and once it was more allowed to the regular place, you all of a sudden started seeing people getting more selfish, you know what I mean? I would definitely say it with the Black community, my group, when it comes down to it. So it's like you said, reverberating that tenfold is, hey, I just need your help on these couple of things. You can help me, can we grow, can we do more? You don't even hear them. You hear them for like about a week or two, maybe, just like you said, clap, 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 and then all of a sudden, gone. You know what I mean? It's an aspect of consistency. It's got to keep going up. You know what I'm saying? If you let that get down, it's going to ruin you because bottom line is that's almost the status quo right now. You know what I mean? So you just got to keep moving to do what you're doing. So, yeah, that's a big one.
Do you believe in aliens? That's the biggest question. You got to answer it right.
Do I believe in
Well,
aliens?
escort you.
I'll say yeah. I do believe in aliens. Yeah, I mean, I think they're there. That's all good. I'm not really sure if
I'll show you an actual alien. You're not gonna ever question that there's aliens.
Let's see.
This is it. Real life alien.
That's an alien. That's an alien. The ears and everything. Hey, look, kind of like this one dude I saw the other day. That was serving me coffee. Hey. No, I'm kidding. No, he was trying to serve me coffee. That's the real alien, you guys. No, I'm playing with you. Nah, it's all good. So, aliens there. We have a lot of things in this world that we can't really explain on the aspect of science. So sometimes it's better to talk about the deity, but the deity is another name for the alien. You know what I mean? Doing here and there. So it's all good.
Would you believe if I told you that I am an alien?
No.
People have accused me of being an alien.
I don't believe an alien, no. I wouldn't believe that, no.
I'm fucking weird. I'm weird.
I've met some weird people, trust me.
Weirder than me.
Guaranteed. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? People that just be like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? Weird to me.
You're like, you're there, you're here, but you're not here with
so many weird people that weird is now normal to me.
Right,
honestly, I don't see nothing. There's almost nothing. I'm pretty sure there's people out there that are even crazier, but I'm looking forward to see that now, whereas maybe 20 years ago, I was like, oh, man, I got to start hitting these people. You got to expect unexpected, maybe, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, you mentioned, like, being behind the camera and being in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. What's your biggest art piece that you're proud of?
I would say the one I'm proud of is what I'm doing right now, which is the Anytime Multimedia Network, which is putting out a big array of like I said, diverse array of Black voices, talking about specific subjects. I got a hip hop Republican, if that don't sound crazy to you, because it sounds crazy to me when we sit there and sign there and got that on there as a hip hop person talking on the part of Trump and backing Trump. I got somebody out there that is talking specifically about health, being only holistic health, never taking any kind of medicine whatsoever, you know what I mean? And how it kind of is an affinity towards the heritage of African youth, you know what I'm saying, how Africans used to be. I have people that are sitting there talking stocks and bonds and how it will turn around and, help the hood itself right now and get away from slanging that cane, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. So my biggest thing was launching that, even the idea of having it.
Are you talking about like the podcast or?
No, it's an array of stuff. It's several different shows. Okay. You like 4 or 5 series. We got 4 or 5 mini docs on there. We got, like I said,
the new one series. On your website?
Yeah, it's on the whole platform. It's like a whole platform. It's like almost like 6 different channels. You got 4 social media channels. You got 1 actual, the app itself is coming, not here yet. You got the YouTube channel. You got the actual podcast channel itself. Gotcha. All of that, well, most of that that's under the moniker is independently owned. We just use, of course, the social media channels to get the word out there. Excuse me, a little bit as far as like clips and stuff like that. So all those kind of things are a good amount of self-expression. Because me, myself, like I said, it allows what I believe has been a very hindered opinion allowed to be out there. You know what I mean? On a regular basis. Say what you want to say. Just like you said, you can't get too racy. There's enough sexual content out there. Get your butt over there with that. We don't have to sit there and be on that. We can be conformed to let people hear. What do we think about the things like a Trump? What do we think about the things like a Kamala? What do we think of the things of, like I said, should you hydrate? Should you not hydrate? What do you think on the aspect of beauty? Is there beauty? Is there a divide of racial beauty? Is there a divide of production, of media aspects? There's so many different subjects on there. We don't want to be refined and being told what our opinion is anymore. So I would say that's probably the one I'm, even though it's still building and it's far from where it needs to be, that's the one I'm most proud of. But I mean, I've had everything all there. I've had infomercials, internationally broadcasted. I've had music videos on MTV. I've had music videos on BET when they used to do music television, all that kind of stuff. I've had a high school sports show that was on Comcast's channel when they had that. Like I said, I've had my shoots on several different news outlets. You know what I mean? So I'm accomplished. It's not nothing new, but like I said, once I got to the point I want to do my own thing and be independent and be the one to control the narrative, or specifically let my people control the narrative, it changed. You know what I mean? That's what I was happy about, to provide that platform, to create, provide, and grow that platform. Absolutely. So we good.
I'm trying to figure out a way we could work together.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Any kind of ways. Well, since I'm coming a little bit more on the social aspect of it, what is on the part of gender that you are looking for? Like, as far as you want to accomplish, or you see yourself in a perfect world happening?
I just want to see more females everywhere in high places.
Yeah. So you see more, try to get more female producers going, talk about two more females. You said rappers, singers, you know what I'm saying? Have more showcases, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, get some showcases out there.
That don't necessarily have to be shaking their ass.
Of course.
Cute. Just women of all shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
I want to see that more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy, what I like too, especially out here in the Bay, is they have that big eclecticism, to that part of it. I would definitely say find a way to get some conferences, get some meetings, you know what I'm saying? Do small little things, get a little spot.
I find as females, they're harder. They judge easier. Okay. They're more catsy. They're more selfish.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And guys tend to be more helpful, more wanting to be involved, wanting to help me. And so a lot of the times I'm with male. Yeah. Because they're more willing.
Absolutely.
So I don't know how to break the fourth wall with other women. It's always been a struggle of mine. Always.
What I've seen, unfortunately, a lot when it comes to the females is, they want to get to where it's, I don't know, kind of where it's already made, you know what I mean? Right. When it's already gotten, it's already pushed, and it's already accomplished, then all of a sudden that's when they say, okay, well, let's talk and everything along those. And one thing I would think of is to find a way to get on their page to what is their, mass interest, you know what I'm saying? Okay, what same page can I get on with you, you know what I mean, on that before anything? It's a little bit harder, but I think it would be a lot of better effect rather than saying, this is what I'm doing, I'll help you another way. Okay, no, you want to sit there and you want to advocate for, I don't know, opening more beauty salons or something like that, for, career-wise, okay? Hey, maybe we can sit there and start something like even a small, jerry-rig lobbying group to actually get laws to help out, with grants or something like that towards this lobbying group. You know what I'm saying? Just something to get someone on their page.
Have to try a little harder.
That's what I'm saying. Because you imagine that it'll be 10 different females and be like, then 10 different goals. It's like, but it's at least a start. But what I've seen is a lot more cooperation when you kind of get a little bit more on their page to accomplish their goals.
Which half the time, like they want makeup or they want hair stuff that I could give a fuck less about. Yeah. So it's already hard, but if there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. Well, that's what I see a lot when you get towards that relation part. When I'm going to people and instead of them talking about strictly what I'm doing, when I said, hey, I'm going to come to your spot and record this or help you promote this or something like that, you get a lot more traction and say, okay, what else can we help you? You know what I'm saying? But unfortunately, but like you said, with guys, that's not the way I do it. Is this something that can help me with my goal? And if I have to pivot, let's make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Kind of thing. That's the way I look at it.
It has to be in the right time, in the right place, and they got to be ready to say yes and work. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. No matter how open I am to hearing them out or wanting to meet them in their level, it just has to be at the right time.
I feel you. No, I got you. Yeah, it's good. But
people just don't trust, and you shouldn't trust because it's not safe.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Too many people have, mental illnesses.
Mad swindlers out there. Especially in content right now. We got mad swindlers. I'll sit there and went and invested in a couple different entities that, gave me a great pitch. I'm talking about a great pitch, and I thought it was awesome. I said, you know what, I'm going to invest because I just like the pitch and everything. It had some general due diligence, not even a week too late. Oh, we got to close. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like a straight hustle, especially with the internet. So you just gotta, trust your gut. Really, I put my foot down a lot of times. I go walking many times, meaning I go to that spot and I start walking with them, and I was like, okay, I don't know, the way you vibing right now, it doesn't seem like, success. It more seems like an apparatus, more seems like a figment of your imagination. Right. And I can't waste my time on the figment, you know what I'm saying? Right. So, but, you might have to do that 10 times before you get somebody finally like, boom, but that's what it is. Dip your toe, and then pull on that. Don't take too much time. Cut losses quickly. That's what they say. So, but you gotta
saying everything right to me.
I feel you. So,
where are you from? Like,
I'm from all over. The best way to say easiest is just I live in Antioch, but I grew up in
any ghosts that you seen in Antioch? Or
you say ghosts?
Ghosts, yeah.
Ghosts, like apparitions?
Yeah, or like you know, like fucking dark spirits or fucking crazy shit?
I have not, but I mean, you see a hell lot of crime. Yeah, a lot of sitting in drive-bys and going crazy and, you know, winos
even now,
like that.
I thought it came down.
No, it ain't come down. This is not reported.
Okay.
It's just like, it's almost like weekly now.
I was out there last month filming. I filmed a short mini series out in Antioch in the park. It was beautiful. Yeah,
you know, it's not, no, what's crazy, it's not like the Watts. It's not like Compton, but at the same time, it's still pretty, you know, hectic out there.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the, unfortunately, one of the two of my stories, that I filmed that was on, I think it was ABC, picked it up, was about, you know, one was about that grandpa, we saw a grandpa, that had a 3-year-old, he didn't lock his gun on a 3-year-old grandson got killed. I shot that. That shot that. The one, I don't know if it's on ABC, but ABC debuted my footage on that.
Shit. Okay.
And it was crazy. I just found out now.
How'd you like, as in the news?
Yeah, ABC News, yeah.
Did you just record what happened, or you work for the news?
No. I'm a freelancer. So, you know, so basically they hit me up and say, hey, look, we got a story out there. A 3-year-old just got shot. You go shoot it real quick. So, you know what I'm saying? Go down, pick it up, and they shoot to pick it up. They picked that one up. A couple of different stories, you know, that I've had. A couple murders, unfortunately. It's, it's crazy. So it's out there. But, I mean, they're trying their best to get it better. But, I mean, I don't know. It's like a lot of words. You know what I mean? You say you're trying to get stuff better, but people are still broke. People are still trying to, you know, work. There's still no jobs out here. You know what I'm saying? Like me, my son took almost like a year to get like a job after having like 2 years experience doing what he was doing. You know what I mean? He couldn't get it back, you know? So I don't know. It doesn't seem like a lot, but I say to myself, you know, in the area we at, it's not really a big deal. You know what I mean? So, but not even 5 miles away. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. You know what I mean? So we don't go there by too much, but you know, it is. So it depends where you at.
Yeah. Do you think the government is like scripted? Like, do you think all of this is plotted, like to have us like do crime and stuff? Like, do you think it's all like the government's plan?
I don't think it's the government's plan per se plotted. I think personally the government we give them too much credit for having souls when they don't. You know what I mean? Yeah. The bottom line is the government only cares really about one thing, that they are good and they're making money. And the only way they can really make money is have us into the actual box that we stay in. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass up, go to work, put your 40 in, you know what I'm saying? Get your 401k, pay your bills, buy shit so we can sit there and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why you have so many coups, especially economic coups, before anything get dismantled before they even start. Because once you have a people that say, okay, we don't want to sit there and really deal with you no more, that's going to invade in their pockets. You know what I'm saying? That's going to mess up their comfort. If we sit there and stay to them ourselves and they ain't got to do nothing, and we just do what we always do and we're going through the motions, they'll be good. You know what I mean? Ooh, sorry. My bad. You know what I mean? So, like I said, I don't think the government's really that cognizant like that, you know, when it comes down to it. You know, as long as it stays in their bottom line, they don't care what you do. You know what I'm saying? You want to destroy yourself? Okay, we can make money on that. You want to do drugs? We can do money on that. You want to work till you're dead? We can make money on that. You know what I mean?
I think we're worth more when we're dead than when we're alive to them anyways.
It depends. You know what I'm saying? They're going to want somebody working, you know what I mean? Because they can sell that rather than somebody dying because they have to pay that. You know what I'm saying? Not something they have to pay, plot they have to pay, things they have to now come out of pocket for. You know what I'm saying? Amazing fact, I sit there and found out. Like, we have this big delusion that 401k is for us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I won't even lie. When I found this out, it was crazy. A 401k is not for us. As a matter of fact, companies jumped at the fact of getting a 401k for the simple fact to get out of pensions. You see what I'm saying? Because pensions was the good days. You know, when grandma stayed at the mill, mom stayed at the mill, good, long-lasting pension. They good. They ain't got to work until they're 50. Everything was good and they taken care of. Companies weren't liking that. And that's why I say that it's all about the bottom dollar when it comes down to bigger issues. And the government only wants to make sure the companies are good. You know what I mean? Because once they found out indirectly that a 401k, they can not only take that money, they can write off that money, they can forward the taxes to you and me. That's more money in their pocket. Hey, let's go ahead and put this illusion that we're taking care of these people. No, the hell we're not. if we go through this 401k, it's a loophole to make sure we don't get nothing, or we don't have to take care of nothing and they get everything, but we're in the conscious mind that we are getting taken care of, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to be good and all that kind of stuff. Those taxes are as soon as you start taking that shit out, you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that is why I say it. So I think it's good and bad for one thing. I think it's good because you can figure that out then. You can manipulate that to a certain way, you know what I mean? I went ahead and even started my business and even taking losses on that I'm able to write off on taxes. And now I'm getting crazy tax returns, even though my kids no more. So stuff like that, it's just different ways you can manipulate it. And knowing the government is so just into only getting money, it's something you can take advantage of. So it's good. It's bittersweet, but you got to be woke on it,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
Which most of us aren't.
We gotta try. Man, we got platforms. Hey, we got platforms now. That's what we got. So we put platforms out. We promote it, and we tell each other, "Hey, yo, see my boy here on the grind. This and that."
A year or two, we end up dead. Knew too much.
All of a sudden, wait a minute. He was had a good. It was a podcast. What happened? Well, people started listening. Yeah, so we having that. Some of these people, I'm even hearing some of the people that are doing this got FBI cases on them right now. I was like, they ain't nothing but podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Why are you putting FBI cases on them for? But it's like they talking too much, and the worst thing, you motivating them. So
right, exactly. So you got to be careful with that.
Yeah. So it's all good.
We're too real. End up dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's your famous last words?
My famous last words. Like I'm on my deathbed, or just like what are my favorite words?
No, I said what you gotta tell them, because before I end it, before we end this, unless you want to keep talking about.
She said, "It's your interview. You gotta tell me."
Unless you want to start interviewing me.
Yeah, I can do that. I kind of live a little bit by a creed right now on a phrase: monetize what you got. See, monetize what you got. We just live in a world too much where we're trying to get what everybody else has gotten. You know what I'm saying? What does Hollywood got? What does the government got? What does the big people got? What does the chief got? What does the police got? Everybody that's doing better, we're rolling through to find out and finding any kind of ways, even if it's at our detriment, you know what I mean, to make that happen. Monetize what you got. What do you have in this house that you can sit there and get money for? What do you have in yourself that you can sit there and get money for? You know what I'm saying? Can you talk well? You got good skin. You got good fashion. You know what I mean? You like jewelry a certain way. Do you have advice to go out there right now and tell the people? You know what I mean? On that part, as it is. You'll be surprised how well you can do just using only what you actually have. You know what I'm saying? Rather than trying to make up something where you don't. Monetize what you got. Monetize what you got. Find something right now. One of the funny stories I ever heard was a guy that he told me, I just got off the street from a year ago. I said, how did you do it? I was like, look, I didn't have nothing. I was on the street. So I went to all these places, these companies in these strip malls, like 3 or 4 strip malls. I walked to each one of them. I said, yo, give me $20 a week and I'm going to sit there and clean your goddamn fucking driveway.
Yeah.
That's all they said. Not parking lot. You know what I'm saying? To make sure it's clean so you have that good facade. He went through, he got 10 companies every single day to do that. 10 times 5. What's that? 50 companies. 50 companies times 20. It's $1,000. What did he do? Did he go and run to the university, get him a little degree? Did he rob anybody? Did he sit there and put any kind of exploits out there? Nah, he just used his feet, used his wits, and he raised $1,000. He was out of homelessness within about 2 months doing that. You know what I'm saying? Monetize what you got. Monetize what you got. You'll be great.
Say it again.
So, monetize what you got.
There you go.
Monetize what you got.
Can you say that one more time?
Monetize what you got.
There you go. Where can they find you at?
Check us out on, right now our hub is on Linktree. So linktr.ee/ATMMNET. So that's for Anytown Multimedia Network. If you just want to Google it or whatever like that, it's Anytown Multimedia Network. Like I said, we have roughly 6 channels right now, which is 4 of them social media, Fanbase, Fanbase, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And then we have our podcast channel, which is Black People Talking Collective.com.
Oh, yeah.
as well as we have the YouTube Anytime TV app sample, at there. And then the app itself is coming. The actual TV app is coming. Where you're going to see all our full shows. You'll see me, Great Brother. You're going to see the Supreme Way. He is a health expert, a holistic health expert. You got, like I said, the Hip Hop Republican. Her show is called The New Perspective, The New American Perspective, I'm sorry. And, man, I'm drawing a blank on the third one. There's one more. I can't remember. They'll come back to me. Yeah, I can't remember. There's one more. We have 4 series on. Oh, yeah, the Black Unwealth mini doc series going. So, and that's about talking to Black people about the unequal treatment of, kind of the game, the government, that kind of thing, inequity when it comes out to housing reform or just actual government policies and that kind of thing. So that's a pretty good doc. We like the series, Black Unwealth. So got a couple of them. Check us out. Like I said, link tr.ee/ATMMNET.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe and see you guys next time.